Yo, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy DC coming back with another bullseye of a video here today on the channel. I want to show you my top 5 must-have plugins that you will need for mastering, okay? So this is going to give you the fork, the knife, the spoon, everything you need to whip up a really good sounding track. So first I'm going to play the track and then we're going to start all over again from scratch. So let's go ahead, let's listen to it.
I just came into the game like the boy already had the green light. That's why I don't care if it sound right. I'm still learning how to make what it feel like. I'm getting stuck in the head, sitting in a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here with me.
All right, so you guys hear what we're working with here today. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this. Check the links down below to grab a vocal preset, mastering preset, plugin preset, whatever it is that you want to grab, or join the channel membership. So the very first thing that you're going to need, the very first plugin that you're going to need to mix and master, well, mastering specifically, you're going to need a stereo pair of these. No, not these, but a stereo pair of these. Ears, okay? So that's the first plugin that you need to do. You need to have your ears to actually listen to the shit and to see what the mix genuinely needs, okay? So if we were starting all over from scratch, you know, we would play it and we would hear.
Yeah, sitting in a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying.
Okay, so we want an analog tone. And that brings me to my very first plugin that, you know, I feel like you guys need, which would be some sort of analog saturator. Okay, so personally, I always love to use analog model plugins and never actually do what they were supposed to meant to be doing. Like a Pultec, like, okay, it's an EQ, but I don't use the EQ. Okay, so there's a Fairchild. I don't use the Fairchild. I just use it for the saturation. So listen to how this brings brightness and weight to the mix right out the gate.
In the head, sitting in a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here with me. Fed in the funeral. I know how you act when I'm someone that you used to know. Don't wanna go back to someone that you won't call. I'ma flood the map till every drop equal withdraw. This is the type of song you meant to make them check the info. Only thing glistening on me is my skin tone. In the head, sitting in a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here.
All right, so you guys have a basic understanding of that. Another great saturator that I like to also use is something like Spectre. Maybe we're going to use that. Maybe we're not going to use it. But after that, after what you need after a saturator, you need some type of transparent EQ. You can use either the Fab Filter, the Kalashnikov, or you can use something like the BX Digital. Whatever it is, it's just a transparent EQ that pretty much doesn't, you know, it's vanilla. It doesn't affect the sound too much. It's very non-invasive.
In the head, sitting in a window. Different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here with me. Fed in the funeral. I know how you act. Someone that you used to know. Don't wanna go back to someone that you won't call. I'ma flood the map till every drop equal withdraw. This is the type of song you meant to make them check the info. Skin tone, oversized pair of baggy jeans and a zip out. Everything rolling what I need in these headphones. Trust me, I'ma see the double team. I'm some shooting out. Wondering where the hell I got this ego. All I'm doing daily is just sitting watching trees grow. You know what I want, baby.
So that's why that's always in one of my top 5 plugins, is having something like a transparent EQ, okay? Now, another plugin that you're gonna need that is gonna be very important is using something like a limiter. This mix is different because I mixed this mix loud on purpose. I really tried to drive the analog model plugins just so I could get the sound, but limiters are very important. And I like to use something like the Pro L or the L2. I have many different types of limiters, but the main trick about a limiter is usually when you want to get on a limiter, you want to level match it. Usually you would take the chain like this to make sure that your threshold and your out ceiling, you know, pretty much you're not adding any actual volume, okay?
In the head, sitting in a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio.
See, with this, you can just like, you know, chain them together. Now you can actually hear the amount of distortion that you're doing because the volume stays the same, but now you're hearing the distortion.
In the head, sitting in a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here with me. Fed in the funeral. I know how you act when I'm someone that you used to know. Don't wanna go back to someone that you won't call. I'ma flood the map till every drop equal withdraw. This is the type of song you meant to make them check check the info. Only thing glistening on me is my skin tone. Oversized pair of baggy jeans and a zip.
All right, so after that, we have a limiter. I usually bring in the limiter as one of the first plugins, right? And you just use the limiter to hear how much distortion is gonna happen, because you have to kind of like work around that distortion, okay? The distortion is kind of like the hot sauce, okay? That's gonna give more flavor if you pick the correct hot sauce. There's like Mexican green hot sauce, and there's red hot sauce, and there's different types of sauce made with jalapenos and stuff like that. Okay, so that distortion, always be aware of it, and we just showed you the trick to start to wake up to it a little bit. Okay, another important plugin that you will definitely need is a stereo widener. Because a stereo widener makes the entire mix a little bit less claustrophobic. Okay, the whole mix becomes a little bit less claustrophobic when you're using a plugin like this.
In their head, sitting near a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here with me, fed in the funeral. I know how you act when I'm someone that you used to know.
So now you hear like everything has a little bit of space. It's like moving from a 1-bedroom apartment to a 2-bedroom apartment. I like this too because, I'll have some extra features here as well to play around with.
In their head, sitting near a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here with me, fed in the funeral. I know how you act when I'm someone that you used to know. Don't wanna go back to someone that you won't call. I'ma flood the map till every drop equal withdraw. This is the type of song you meant to make them check the info. Only thing glistening on me is my skin tone. Oversized pair of baggy jeans and a zip out. Everything rolling what I need in these headphones. Trust me, I'ma see the double team. I'm so shooting up. Wonder where the hell I got this.
So this video is not necessarily about which type of plugins, because you're gonna use the ones that you like, but it is very good to know the use cases for everything, okay? The mentality behind it, right? So I use a widener because I know the widener will open up the mix. Now, some mixes, they should sound a little bit more narrow. Sometimes if you're living by yourself, a 1-bedroom apartment is good enough for you. So you need to always know that discretion. So far, we have analog modeled saturators. We have transparent EQs. We talked about stereo wideners. We talked about limiters. And I think the last plugin that's very important is like a spectral type of plugin like Soothe, or OZONE spectral shaper, OZONE stabilizer, whatever it is, just like a plugin that goes in and takes like out some of the bad frequencies, okay? Especially when you're saturating and you're clipping and you're distorting and you're all that stuff. To make sure my mix maintains a very clean sound, I kind of leave this process towards the end, right before the limiter.
In their head, sitting near a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here with me, fed in the funeral. I know how you act when I'm someone that you used to know. Don't wanna go back to someone that you won't call. I'ma flood the map till every drop equal withdraw. This is the type of song you meant to make them check the info. Only thing glistening on me is my skin tone. Oversized pair of baggy jeans and a zip out. Everything rolling what I need in these headphones. Trust me, I'ma see the double team. I'm so shooting up. Wonder where the hell I got this ego. All I'm doing.
All right, let's bypass everything.
In their head, sitting near a window. The album made by my bed, not in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here with me, fed in the funeral. I know how you act when I'm someone that you used to know. Don't wanna go back to someone that you won't call. I'ma flood the map till every drop equal withdraw. This is the type of song you make. Getting stuck in their head, sitting near a window. Info. I don't got a team, but you know it's MixLikeNix though. Everybody around me believes I'm big bro. Been making this shit since 19, but not here though. Millionaires, I'm teaching how to dream without a pillow. I'm off of antidepressants, don't need an antidote. Shawty coming whenever she wants, so when she gets home.
So I did it like that, level matching my limiter and everything like that. And then you hear the true effect of the mastering chain. The vocal sounds more forward. That's without actually like doing anything. Our vocal sounds more forward. Everybody likes that, more forward, more clear. The mix sounds thicker. There's more density. You can hear the lower level detail a lot better. And that's why these are my top five of plugins that I like. So let's look at it again.
Info. I don't got a team, but you know it's MixLikeNix though. Everybody around me believes I'm big bro. Been making this shit since 19, but not here though. Millionaires, I'm teaching. I just came into the game like the boy already had the green light. That's why I don't care if it sound right. I'm still learning how to marry what it feel like. I'm getting stuck in their head, sitting near a window. The album made by my bed, and I'm in the studio. All these different routes to the bread like I'm Julio. I'm trying to keep you here with me, bed in the funeral. I know how you act when I'm someone that you used to know. Don't wanna go back to someone that you won't call. I'ma flood the map till every drop equal withdraw. This is the type of song you meant to make them check the info. Only thing glistening on me.
See, all those plugins are all coming together just like a community to further the better of the whole entire track. So with the pull tech, I made that a little bit louder because the whole chain was hitting very hard, similarly to how I said, sometimes your mix, might be a little bit too loud for the mastering chain. So you might have to take one of the plugins and pull it back. Like the Fairchild added a lot of volume just on its own. So then that's why I use the next plugin to pull it back down. You feel me? But get more density, more thickness. All right. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check the links to cop a preset, book a mix, do whatever you want. But I appreciate you. And these are my top five types of plugins that you should have. A saturator plugin, okay, a spectral shaping plugin to get things to be clean, a dope limiter that you like, a transparent EQ, a set of ears, and just a good damn mix, a good ingredient that you're just enhancing. All right, so I just want to say I appreciate you guys a lot. See you next time. Peace.